Let me talk about this TJ Watt contract. Because when people hear me talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, when people hear me talk about TJ Watt, because for people that don't remember, I didn't think it was smart for the Pittsburgh Steelers to essentially re-sign TJ Watt. In fact, I said it would probably be smarter to trade TJ Watt at this moment because, again, he's not happy with the situation. You guys don't want to pay him what he feels he's worth, and there is a plethora of teams that would willing to give up a lot for someone like TJ Watt. And when people hear me say that, they think I'm saying that TJ Watt is trash or, Pittsburgh should want nothing to do with it. I'm not saying that. TJ Watt and the Pittsburgh Steelers agree on a 3-year, $123 million contract extension, making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Do I think that TJ Watt is worth 3 years, $123 million? Yes. I think that he has been the best, if not one of the best defensive players since he's come into the league. He has been a staple in Pittsburgh. In fact, when you look at everyone that's in Pittsburgh right now, he is the face of Pittsburgh Steelers. And I understand completely why he felt he deserved that type of money while he held out. And essentially, I understand why the Pittsburgh Steelers essentially gave him the contract that they gave him. He is uber important to the Steelers. And when you're a team that essentially has a cornerstone player, especially at the prime of which he is, a lot of people think that he should have won Defensive Player of the Year a year ago. I understand why you would pay him this type of money. And I don't think they were wrong for paying because this is what they wanted to do. Everybody knows Pittsburgh is known for defense. That is their calling card. That has been their calling card essentially since the iteration of this team. There's a reason why they were nicknamed the Steel Curtain for such a long time. I understand when your best defensive player is up for a contract and you guys are pretty much at a standstill, you want to try everything you can to get it right. And obviously he agreed to a record deal. He is okay with what they were willing to offer. So shout out to TJ Watt. I don't even want to say but. I want to paint a picture now. I want to paint a picture of what this means for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It essentially means that after next year, you don't really have an offensive direction because Aaron Rodgers signed a 1-year deal. You still are going to have DK Metcalf. You still are going to have the young pieces that you have, Pat Freiermuth and Jalen Warren, but you don't really have a direction quarterback-wise. Unless Will Howard, the rookie out of Ohio State, won a national championship, unless Will Howard just turns into the man, or you find a way to trade for a quarterback. But we're going to talk about quarterbacks a little bit later in the show. But unless there's some type of disgruntled situation going somewhere, most high-level quarterbacks aren't really available for trade. I just want to put that out there. However, one thing that we do know is the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to be A-okay. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers has done a horrible job with planning for the future. Ever since Big Ben. And I understand the thought of, well, we don't really have to because we have someone as great as Big Ben. I get it. But it just felt like it never dawned on somebody in that organization that we're not going to have Big Ben forever. Which is clearly evident by just how many quarterbacks we've seen them have since Big Ben. And none of them, not even Russ, not even Justin, none of them has panned out. And I was talking to a Steelers fan after this TJ Watt news, and obviously they were happy because TJ Watt is the face of Pittsburgh. But they were like, yo, look at Kansas City. And they drafted Patrick Mahomes. Look at Baltimore. They drafted Lamar Jackson. Look at Buffalo. They drafted Josh Allen. I'm sorry. Look at Cincinnati. They drafted Joe Burrow. Look at Washington. They drafted Jaden Daniels. We're going to be okay. We'll just draft somebody. And this not only is one of my issues with this situation, but this is why I said it's important. Like, as much as I don't want to give up one of the best defensive players in the league, this is why I would have traded TJ Watt. Newsflash, bro. I don't think there is a Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that there is one of them in this year, next year, or the year after draft. On top of that, if you just so happen to be bad enough to get those one of those coveted picks, are you going to hit on that draft? Which brings me to my last statement. I do not think you're going to be bad enough because we know what the Pittsburgh Steelers have tried to do and what they've done with Mike Tomlin. They have tried to keep his never finishing the season below 500 record strong. So it's like, and I think this year is going to be, I don't think they're going to go, this possibly could be a year, but I think Aaron Rodgers still has enough in the take where he can drag this team to a 500 record. Look, it does sound like hate. I know it does. And it sounds like I'm crapping on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know it sounds like I'm crapping on TJ Watt. I'm not. I think TJ Watt deserves the money that they gave him. I think he should have held out. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, it was in their best immediate interest to re-sign TJ Watt. But it kind of goes back to what I talked about last episode with the Golden State Warriors. The whole 2 timeline thing doesn't work. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have clearly shown that they're not really great with planning the future out. Well, on top of that, they're also not great at competing for championships, at least right now. Because, again, I hate to do this because obviously he's a black coach and there's not a lot of them, and I want everyone black to succeed. I don't care how you feel. I want Mike Tomlin to succeed. So I hate bringing up this stat, but it is true when we talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin has never finished a season under 500. Shout out to him. In the same breath, how many playoff wins does he have since Big Ben has left? I don't think they're going to be bad enough to get one of those coveted quarterbacks. But that's the thing. I also don't think that there's many coveted quarterbacks coming out of the draft. Because when I'm looking at the landscape of college football right now, what I see is there are some NFL-ready wide receivers. We talk about Ryan Williams, Jeremiah. Like, there are some of them coming, like, right now. You also have running backs going crazy in college football. Homie from Notre Dame, like, do you think Archie Manning is really going to be that? It could. He could. But I'll ask you this. What do you think would have been easier and would have garnished more success? I'm asking Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Waiting out, hoping to get someone like Archie Manning, hoping that he is the future, or building up a trade package that can involve someone like Trevor Lawrence or involve someone like Justin Herbert. Not saying that they're going to, not saying that they automatically could have got them, but get someone that's a little more established, or maybe a Kyler Murray. What do you think would have been? What avenue would have put you more in a championship caliber way, or a championship caliber road? Again, it sounds like hate. I know it does, and I don't hate the move. I'm just realistic of what this move spells, and this move spells the same old Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers that's always going to make sure their defense is A1, always going to secure the defense before they handle the offense. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, at least recently, that is the middle of the pack. Because I even look in your division. I don't think Pittsburgh is anywhere close to the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think they're anywhere close to the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's only because of Joe Burrow. Not because the Cincinnati Bengals suck. But Joe Burrow and that offense is great. Yes, I think they're better than the Cleveland Browns. But I will say, at least right now, it looks like the Cleveland Browns have a clearer future than the Pittsburgh Steelers when we talk about Shedeur Sanders. So, yeah. Again, congratulations to T.J. Watt. I know it sounds like I'm crapping on him. I'm not. I think, again, T.J. Watt is one of the best, if not the best defensive player in football, and I think it's well-deserved. I'm also interested to see what this means for the market because I don't know what the hell the Cowboys are doing, but you keep letting these type of players get contracts. Like Myles Garrett contract, T.J. Watt contract. Like, Michael Parsons is younger than both. And some could argue that he's better than both. And you still ain't get a contract done with him. So every time he sees these type of moves, and even when we talk about age range, when you see what Jamar Chase got, when you see what Saquon got, when you see what CeeDee Lamb got, I don't know why they waiting. Don't know why they're waiting, but he's just getting more expensive by the day. I know the Cowboys are religious in waiting till the absolute last second to pay somebody, but that costs them more money. If you look, they waited to pay Dak Prescott. Now look what that contract looks like, especially if they don't reach any expectations next year, which I don't think they will, because I don't think they're better than Washington. I don't think they're better than Philadelphia, for sure. CeeDee Lamb, I mean, but then you're also going to probably have to pay George Pickens. So I don't know. But congratulations for TJ Watt for getting the 3-year, $123 million extension. Again, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Rightfully deserved. Shout out to you. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.